Well, hello, Midlife Love Mastery members. I'm your coach, Jonathan Asley, and I'm so excited to be doing another Facebook Live. Yes, it's a morning cup of Jonathan, and today we have our Unstoppable mug from the Cynthia Kersey event, which is help raising funds to educate children in underprivileged and impoverished countries. So I'm feeling a little unstoppable today. So I wanted to share something that I think could benefit us all. Because one of the challenges in dating today is building trust with someone. And so I wanted to share with you a personal experience. Last night, my son called me at 1 in the morning, and I had fell asleep on the couch. So when the phone rang and I saw his name, immediately I went into fear. Oh my God, what's wrong? And my first words, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Dad, I'm fine. I just want to vent." And something happened to him that I'm not going to share publicly, but he was frustrated about something. He was driving home. I told him, I'm not going to talk to you while you're driving." He put it on speaker, and he shared with him his experience, and then we had to chat about it. And it was something very, very vulnerable, very personal, very deep. And we were able to, for the next 20-minute drive that he had, or 30-minute drive, we were able to talk it out. My point in sharing this with you is that level of trust that I had with my son took years to build and a lot of vulnerability. It took years to build and a lot of vulnerability. And now, mind you, I didn't live with my son, so we had a kind of a different dynamic. But the point here, and how I built that, was by spending years listening to him so he could feel safe to communicate with me. So why does that relate to, dating, mating, and relating? How does that relate to, where we're at for those of us in midlife seeking love? And I think what the most important reason why I wanted to bring this up is that, there's this expectation of instant trust, instant connection, instant feeling safe, both for a man and a woman. There's the expectation. And I was reading some of the posts on the page today about a long distance relationship and a man who pulled, was doing the rubber band effect, and men who did this and men who do that. And what occurs to me is a lot of the frustration that's going on is that true trust hasn't been built, because it takes time to build trust, and it takes a tremendous amount of vulnerability to build trust, to feel safe, to go, I can speak my deepest, darkest sides and know I'm safe with this person. And what I mean by safe is that they won't use it against me, that they won't disparage me or anything else. And for the most part, the reason why this isn't happening in relationships is that today's relationships aren't built on vulnerability. Oftentimes it's built on romance, not vulnerability. Vulnerability is how you get to a level of true intimacy, of true trust. And intimacy, I don't mean sexual intimacy, I mean that space of trust with another person comes from being vulnerable. And so most relationships today are happening transactional because there's companionship and sex going on, but what's missing is deep communication. And deep communication cannot happen via text message. And it can't. And so text is great for flirtation and fun. Emails are more situational. And sometimes emails can be like letter writing where it can go deep. But today's form of communication is short, quick through text, and that's not where deep vulnerability, intimacy, and trust is built. Now, I said earlier that men fall in love through experiences. They fall in love through social activities, hobbies, mutual interests, spending time with family and friends, and that's true. But they form trust by being safe enough to be vulnerable. And ladies, this is where you actually are better at this than us. We struggle being vulnerable. So this is how I want to help. I want to kind of suggest that lead by example. When you lead by being vulnerable, there's this fear that you're going to scare him away. And please, please, please remember these words. If it's sincere and from the heart, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. If it's coming from love, not from ego. Ego, you can fuck everything up. Fear, you can fuck it all up. But when it comes from the heart, when it comes from a place of love, means without judgment, not being defensive, not being criticizing. When you're coming not from those places, you're coming from a place of love, you actually help him become more vulnerable with you. And that's how we fall deeper and deeper in love with you. It's the experiences help us form a bond with you. And it's through deeper vulnerability that we fall in love with you. And I mean, the love, I'm talking about the kind of love that says, I'm here. You matter. We're important. I'm not going anywhere. I've got your back and I only want you. That's the love I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the anxious love that, is coming from a codependent place. I'm talking about that deep, rich kind of love that comes from the heart. And so it starts by being vulnerable, by expressing your feelings. Because we're going to learn through example. That's how I learned. From my past relationship, who was open and vulnerable with me, that expressed her feelings, told me what she wanted from the relationship, and I had a choice. I could either say yes or no. And many of you are reluctant to be vulnerable because you're afraid of scaring them away. Well, guess what? You get to scare away the wrong guy. That's what you want. Because you want, I hope what you want is a real partner in your life. And it takes years, oftentimes, and a lot of vulnerability to get to that place of deep, real connection. So he can feel safe to open up. And you'd be surprised. Now, the sad part is, oftentimes when a man opens up, you don't like what he has to say. But that's a whole nother conversation. I'm not going to go down this road today. But just remember, when a man does open up, it's important that you be there for him as well, as hopefully he has been there for you. Hopefully. All right. You get the gist of where I'm going. Look, if you think this is stupid, you think this is ridiculous, post a comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. If you think this makes sense and resonates with you, I want to hear from you. Let's get a discussion going. As always, if you find value in what I share, please refer your friends to Midlife Love Mastery. Go to my website, jonathanasley.com, hit the group coaching button. They can get access to tons of videos and then our weekly morning cups of Jonathan. And you know me, I like to sign off with a big, gigantic Jonathan bear hug if I have your consent. Oh, thank you. Wishing you a super duper wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.